Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a good time here. In this video, I'm just going to be talking about the Nikon D3100 DSLR camera. You might know that this is a pretty old camera. I think it came out in August of 2010, or at least it was announced in August of 2010, if I'm correct. So it means that it's almost 11 and a half years old by this point, and by this point I mean in March 2021. That's when I am recording this video, and I just thought that I'll give you guys a bit of my thoughts about this camera and whether or not you should get this camera if you are in the market for a new camera. Let's say you are a beginner photographer, you want to start it as a hobby, and maybe you just want to upgrade from your normal point and shoot cameras. Now bear in mind, this is not an in-depth look at the camera. I'll be just quickly going over the more important specifications of this camera, like megapixels and the like. So if you're looking for a detailed review, I guess there are plenty of those online, so you might wanna look up those. I bought this camera back in June of 2012, so I've had it for more than 9 years by this point, and I think it's a pretty good camera to begin with, and especially if you are a beginner photographer, like I said before, you can't go much wrong with this one. This was my first DSLR that I bought, and I'm glad I did. I really am, because I have some really nice memories with this camera, and I haven't used it professionally, but I'll tell you that I have covered 4 weddings with this camera. They all were friends and family, but I got the feedback from those people, and they posted the photos online after I gave it to them, and they told me that the comments are really good about the pictures, and they were really glad that I was able to capture their special moments in this camera, and I think it speaks volumes for an entry-level product. If you know how to use it, then you can create pretty amazing results with this one. And to be honest, even on auto setting, this camera produces some really nice images, as you will see towards the end of this video, where I have strung together a sequence of photos which I took with this camera, and some of them are quite old and some of them are quite new, so I make sure that there is a good mix of photos from this camera. And you might notice that some of the photos are edited, but rest assured I didn't use any of the dedicated photo editing softwares such as Adobe Lightroom or Photoshop and the likes. I mainly just use the built-in photo editor that is present in my mobile phone, and for the most part I just played around a bit with the normal settings such as brightness and contrast, and the temperature of the color, and just the basic settings, and it's pretty much a question of just sliding around all the sliders, just playing around with these settings, just decrease some settings and increase some settings, and until you find that sweet spot, and where you think that okay, now this image is really standing out. So that's what I did mainly, and some of the photos I just made them monochrome, I just made them black and white, so I think they came up quite nice. And the rest, I mean, you will see towards the end of this video, so you can make your own mind. So I will definitely recommend this camera if you are, as I said before, new to photography. These ones are, I guess, they are pretty cheap by this point, and I reckon you can get a used D3100 for probably around about $100 to $200, and it all depends upon the seller, really. I mean, he might throw in a couple of accessories in as well to sweeten the deal. And I mean, this camera does the job for the most part. I mean, it's got 14.2 megapixels, so the image quality is not really not really bad. Yeah, and it's not really good as well if you stretch the photos out really big. But I mean, for normal size photos, you can probably print them out, and they look pretty good. I mean, on the mobile phone, they look pretty good to me. And you can even review your photos in camera, since this camera has a 3-inch LCD screen at the back, and so it comes in really handy if you want to just quickly review your photos, and whether or not you need to retake a few shots. And this one hasn't got any inbuilt image stabilization and stuff like that. That all is taken care by the lens itself. The camera takes Nikon f mount lenses, and you can find some third party lens as well, which will be quite cheap as compared to the Nikon produced or endorsed lens. So on this camera, I have at this point I have just a normal kit lens. I have on this camera right now. I have mounted a kit lens. I think it is 18 to 55 millimeter lens, and it's got your image stabilization built in the lens. It's just a small switch that you flick either on or off, and there you go. There are some of the photos I took with this camera. So make up your own mind. I think this camera is a really is a really good choice. It gives you good value for money. It's easy to use, and it's even got a dedicated in-camera guide mode if you are basically just a brand new guy to DSLR. So all you have to do is just select what kind of photo you want to take, and then it's basically just a matter of pressing the shutter, and the camera does all the heavy work for you. For a camera that is more than 10 years old, it does really well in my opinion, especially when you consider the fact that even back then this was Nikon's entry-level product in the DSLR arena.